Welcome back. In our first session, we established our GPS coordinates through the situation analysis. Now, we move to the roadmap. I want to share a story from my time at Mid-Plains Community College that illustrates why this matters. Under the leadership of President Ryan Purdy, we were incredibly methodical. Following the AQUIP continuous improvement model, we identified 15 areas for improvement every 5 years. Each year, cross-functional teams worked on 3 specific projects. We had an academic master plan for quality teaching, a facility master plan for maintenance, and a strategic enrollment plan for growth. We didn't always agree at the cabinet level on every detail, but we had a plan. We knew where we were going. Contrast that with other institutions I've seen where planning was just a check-the-box exercise. In those places, the organization moved in 100 unconnected directions. The winning argument of the day determined where the money went, leading to total confusion and a lack of coordination. We were moving fast, but we weren't getting anywhere. This video is about making sure your department is the one with the roadmap. Remember, as a leader, your job is to use your influence to take people to a better place. But you don't have to do it alone. In fact, you shouldn't. Strategic planning is most successful when it's a shared journey. Before we look at spreadsheets or project lists, we need to anchor ourselves in the why. I like to use an exercise called the river story. Take a look at the image of the Grand Canyon on your screen. A pretty spectacular reminder of what happens when water refuses to stop moving. Like the Colorado River, right here in my Arizona backyard, leadership is about the power of persistence over force. A river doesn't reshape the earth overnight. It does so by consistently flowing towards a specific destination, gradually carving its path through even the toughest rock. By envisioning your desired future state, you are essentially setting the current for your department. Over time, your steady focus and directional flow shape the environment around you, eventually turning a visionary idea into a permanent, landscape-defining reality. The river story activity helps you look at this in a narrative format. To start, I want you to imagine your department 5 years from now. A student or a community member walks onto your campus. What do you hope they see, feel, and experience as a result of your leadership? To write this narrative, think about 3 things. First, the past. What are your core values? What are some of the sacred cows you finally had the courage to slaughter? Second, what about the present? What were the pebbles in our shoes, those nagging problems that we finally solved? Finally, the future. What innovations did you test? What partnerships flourished? Write this story from the student's point of view. If their experience on your campus and the river story excites you and your team, you've found your vision. If it feels like it's a chore, you're probably not dreaming big enough. Assume for a moment there are no limitations. Once the vision is set, it's time to get practical. Use the facilitation guide that is included in this module. Gather your team in a room. This is best done in person with a stack of sticky notes. Based on the situational analysis in the river story, ask the team, what should we focus on to get to our desired future state? Initially, encourage a yes and environment. Every idea goes on a sticky note and onto the wall. At this stage, we want volume, not perfection. Your wall is now covered in yellow squares. Now, we need to find the signal in the noise. Look for the themes. Start grouping similar notes together. You'll notice patterns. Maybe there's 5 notes about communication. Maybe there's 6 about technology. Then use multi-voting techniques. Give every team member 3 to 5 small dot stickers. Ask them to place their dots on the ideas or groups they believe are the most critical. Once the dots are placed, the winners are emerged. But we aren't just looking for projects. We're looking for themes. We don't want buy new laptops. We want digital equity for students. It's now time to take your top themes to the next level. To ensure your team truly believes and understands these themes, assign a spokesperson to the top 3 to 5 clusters. Give them 10 minutes to develop an elevator pitch. Then, in 2 minutes or less, have them explain why this theme is vital and how it serves the vision. After the pitches, the leader and the team make their final selection. You want to land on 3 to 5 major strategic themes. Remember, these are themes, not projects. Any more than that, you aren't prioritizing. You're just making another to-do list. Now that we have our themes, we have to figure out what projects will build the bridge to make our strategy eventually operational. We do this through a gap analysis. For each theme, ask your team 2 questions. First, what is the current state? Where are we at right now? and be brutally honest. Second, what's the desired future state? Where do we want to be in 5 years? And be bold. The space between those two is the gap. Now brainstorm the specific projects and initiatives required to fill that gap. This is where the strategic starts to look tactical. For this example, we have a situation where a college has students showing up for their first advising appointment, still needing to complete the processes to go to college. This can include completing the FAFSA, submitting additional residency documents, enrolling in the correct program of study, and other activities. When this is the case, advisors play the role of enrollment cleanup, not academic advising. The second step is the desired future state of students having those enrollment processes complete by the time they show up at their first advising appointment. The gap would be a brainstorm of ideas and projects that would be prioritized through a multi-voting technique or by a director's decision that would fill that gap. By the end of this session, you should have a path to figure out your top themes, a clear understanding of the gaps, and a list of initiatives to fill them. The final step for the manager in this phase is ownership. For every major initiative or project, you need a lead individual. Implementing strategy dies when the team is responsible. Because when everybody's responsible, no one is. Identify who will champion each gap-filling project. A lot of people think they aren't natural visionaries. They feel if they can't see the future in a crystal ball, they can't lead. But as I've seen in my times and again, from my days at Mid-Plains, the institutions I work with today, the answers usually emerge from the work itself. Most significant advancements don't come from a single bolt of lightning. They come from gathering data, listening to your team, and watching the trends. When you take a step back to see where you are, the path forward becomes more clear. To help you do this, I provide several resources in the module folder. You'll find a strategic planning facilitation guide to help you lead that sticky note session, as well as a gap analysis template you can use with your team to document your current and desired states. These tools are designed to keep you from moving in those unconnected directions and keep your resources focused on what truly matters. Complete the worksheets with your team for this session before moving on. Even if you aren't in a formal planning process right now, this will be eye-opening for you and your staff. In the next video, we'll talk about project management skills you need to turn these gap-filling initiatives into daily reality.